Yeah, this is the video that I said I was going to make earlier yesterday, but I just did not feel like making it yesterday. I wasn't sick like I was on Saturday. Yeah, I was sort of sick on Saturday, so I didn't make this then. But this is sort of like a vlog video where I'm just going to talk about my thoughts and what I've been trying to do on H-Kkohaku, on my thoughts on my character, and what I'm going to be trying to do in the future in order to try to make my character better. I've been kind of interested in doing a vlog video like this. Like maybe I do it like every 2 months on the odd number months. So July, and then I do it next to September, and then I do it after Climax in October, and I do it in November and talk about Climax in that video. Uh, okay. So this video, since it's not like a recap video, I'm just going to go hop straight in to my issues and talking about my character. Like right now, I don't really feel like my character is all that strong or is worth the work. Frankly, I'm kind of just really angry, and I don't know if it's like my personal issues like bleeding into my play, or if it's just like the fact that I'm sort of kind of washed because I haven't been playing as frequently as the other good players in this game. So I'm playing much less, and I'm running into the same walls that I ran into harder. So maybe that's just why I'm feeling more annoyed and angry at my character. But yeah, I'm just gonna talk about it, and hopefully like maybe putting my thoughts like this and being able to read here my thoughts like in the future instead of just putting it down on a piece of paper and shelving it in Google Docs. Maybe opening this up to the community will be of some use instead of people just being headasses. So yeah, so let's start. um I'm going to talk about the strategies that I was trying to use before my Marvel Rivals vacation and shortly after I came back. So first things first, I was trying to get this button, 236B, to have a purpose in neutral. And unfortunately for me, I've sort of kind of figured that this button is like complete and utter dog shit. It's not really worth pressing in neutral. I've been trying really hard to make it work, but in like every single situation that I try to use it in, it is like aggressively not good. Like as you can see on the frame bar, that it is essentially 56 frames total duration. Yeah, like and it's only active for 2 frames. Like it says four active for 4 frames, but the first hitbox, the first 2 frames of the move are only they only hit versus grounded foes. And I wanted to try to use this as an anti-air. So this is like an H Rube level precise normal that like it looks super strong because when you see the red flash, it's like, yo, this is huge, and it covers an area that none of the other normals press. Like if I press P and I go frame by frame, you see that 5B is covering like directly on top of her, but it has like a huge um it has a huge gap like here. Like this isn't all that consistent because it's not hitting here, but it's hitting here lower. This doesn't really anti-air this well, and this is not ever actively anti-airing people. This is like a good jump catch out, like if they're leaving the ground, and it's the very first 2 frames that are good at like anti-airing people. But you extend a lot of green, so that part usually gets counter hit. So like this doesn't cover that area that I was trying to cover all that well. So I was trying to use 236B, but if you're gonna see if that we kind of have an issue with that because like it looks good, like its startup is like what 9 frames. That's pretty fast, and this hurt box is like you'd think this would be an amazing anti-air just based on his hurt box alone. But like look at how big it is compared to how squished she is on the ground. But again, this is a hurt box that does not hit airborne opponents. It only hits grounded foes. So the real anti-air part is this part, which pretty much doubles her green vertically upwards. Like I was trying really hard to make this work versus Alps, versus Skeleton, versus Council, and like this shit just kept losing in like ways that is so unfortunate. Like I try to use it versus like to do corner lockdown because Len likes to jump like and hover in this mid-range area versus Council, and like it lost very cleanly to Ice. Like it didn't trade with H-Len Ice, it flat out lost to Ice because I assume what happened was I was standing about where the cursor is right here, and console was in the corner, so I assume it just like vertically beat out my 236B. But like 23 ice beating it means that I took a launcher hit and I was in like strong disadvantage because Len is like really good at catching ground checks from miles away for whatever godforsaken reason. So like I keep trying to use it, and like the reward off of like regular hit is not that great, and this move is air blockable too. So what would happen like relatively frequently is that I would confirm that someone was air blocking it. Like I'm gonna unpause, I'm going to set the dummy to jump block. Yeah, I'm just, and we're gonna just set this dump. Okay, so we're gonna set the dummy to jump block. And like the idea is, if this happens, come on, was I not blocking for all of it? If like you use the air blockable second hit, but like even the dummies like showing the issue with this. It's like they're like able to double jump this air unblockable hit like relatively frequently, unless you're like swinging this like preemptively. And like if you're doing it preemptively, you are now like 80 frames total duration. So this is like at least the second hit is like 10 frames active. Like this is like not bad in regards to active frames. And if I turn the dummy to stop jumping, wrong button. If we press the A button, like this anti-air hitbox is like not that bad, honestly. Like it's like decent, but like yeah, it's just the recovery is just like amazing. It's like you see it's like minus 46 on block, like it's minus 38 on block. Like I was trying really hard to get it to work, but it doesn't really work. And like the idea is there, I guess. Like let me set the dummy and I set the battle to like counter hit. Is this not counter hitting still? Battle settings, counter hit, first hit. Okay. Because the idea is like something like this, like you get a bateau loop starter from mid-screen that does lots of damage, right? Or you counter hit the first part of the move into a roll. But like you see the first problem already. In order to get damage off the first part counter hitting, you have to preemptively buffer a roll into you have to preemptively buffer the roll into a dash so you could properly follow up. However, that's not like super consistent because again, they can dash block, so this could happen instead. Where that if they didn't like jump again, like I'm minus 24 versus an opponent in the air that is going to be landing on me and has an air dash. So like most characters can literally just air dash punish you for poking it with this like too brazenly. So you want to react, but hey, if you react and you get a counter hit, you actually just can't convert anymore because you can't roll that late. And if you do, you're like not plus enough to pick up. Yeah, like you're not plus enough to pick up if you like roll on reaction. So I was really trying hard to get 236B to work, and it just didn't work. I think this move is just garbage in neutral. Like there's probably a purpose in like immediately doing this in like neutral as like just a thing to do to like get your opponent to like sort of respect the threat of this, or maybe like 236B charge is like not that bad. Because at least like this part does not hit grounded air foes like again, but at least the hitbox is like this, so it doesn't ever like lose horizontally to BS really often. Like the only thing that could beat this is ice, and like even you can react to this hitting and it's completely unblockable the whole way through. Like Like, yeah, it's 73 frames total duration, but it's the same recovery as like the uncharged 236p. So it's like, yeah, it's whatever. So 236p neutral, I'm just gonna get rid of it. I think if I ever use it again, it's going to be in like hitting the bomb, like doing stuff like that. I don't think there's much point in it. It's otherwise, because I've been trying really hard in like the last 2 months to get this to do literally anything, and it doesn't do anything. So that was the first thing I was trying to implement. The second thing that I was trying to implement was like bomb in offense. Okay, so I'm a bit of a pussycat though. The idea was to do stuff like this, and to like people try to super double jump from here. Like, if is there a way to like dummy settings, replay, type, wait till function button 2 is pressed. But function button 2 is the button that does that. That's not good. Well, I'm just gonna showcase that right now. There's probably a way to do it in extended settings, but I'm not gonna mess with that right now. The point was, you do it like this, and they try to like double jump out of the corner. You do stuff like this, and it hits like really high up, and it covers super double jumps like really well. But like the issue is, like, most characters like dash sweep this on reaction. So the idea was like, oh, but like I have 5C into 2C as like a deterrent. So I could just do like 5C into 2B. But like, honestly, it hasn't really done much, I guess. Like, maybe I just have not been doing it enough. Maybe I've not been representing it enough. But like, I've gotten like literal zero use out of it. I'm going to try and do it more and force it into more sets. But like, versus so many characters in this game, they can just like, even at this distance, they are not like all that scared of like pressing a button immediately upon seeing that I'm not pressing anything. Like, I guess like maybe I could do walk forward, walk back to 2B, and like pretend and feint a 2C, and instead of doing that, do yada bam boom, the bomb's on the ground. Maybe that's what I need to do instead of like block stringing into 2B like this. But we'll see as I try to get 2B and I play more. I don't think 2B is all that great in neutral though. People always are like, yo, 2B on the screen kind of cheap, and you're kind of nice with the angles. You could probably do something with it. And like, no, I think the issue with 2B in neutral is that you can't ever get it to hit low enough to like cover this area of the screen. So you sort of kind of lose to people who like are waiting, like who are like waiting on this range. Like, if I'm Tona right here and I see a Hkohaku 2B, I'm like, sweet, I get to dash 2C because I don't have to worry about bomb hitting me, and I literally just have to counter poke 2C, because anything else Hkohaku tries to press at this range to deal with me on the ground is kind of cheeks, because 2B is like a button that Hkohaku has that is like not really impressive. Okay, let me press 2B like this. Okay, yeah. Like, this is not like all that scary to deal with, because the second hit is negatively disjointed, so it's like relatively easy to poke out. And it's just that and 2C that Hkohaku has to stop you from rushing her down. And both like, everything launches the bomb like really high up. That's probably by design, but like H-Kkohaku doesn't have anything to stop people from like dash into sweep or dash into low profile neutral move. Like, Nadia is going to just dash 2B anytime he's on the ground and sees 2B, and like maybe you could be like, oh, okay, but force him, like bait him into going the air. But like, then we kind of run into the issue of JB is like better ass. Like, I think the typical ways of like pressing JB just don't work versus people who are any good at the game. I think this button's like super overrated. It's like, versus people who are like way worse than me, JB is like so good at like streamlining the game and making it so I don't have to think at all, versus a lot of mid-level players. But versus people like Alps, Gomsol, Skeleton, Jogs, say, I don't get the option to press JB really often. Like, I only get to press JB and have it work if they're doing like shit that's so stupid that they feel incensed to like fucking 5D JD versus the JB. And like, at that point, I would have one if I like ran up in J8, then like, JB is not doing anything special there. Like it just extends so much green, and like you just get fucking counter hit so often. I want to make a yap video about like fucking JB, but like I'm not gonna get too deep into it here. But I don't really like basing the game plan in the air around it, because it's like, okay, I'm in the air to threaten JB. Now they are below me, and oh no, they are below me. I have literally nothing to hit them with because Komone is a clown, and my JC is active frame 10 at fastest, and funnily enough, it's only active for 4 frames. You wanna know whose JC is active frame 9 and then is active for 7 frames? The other that's Tono. And then there's characters like Nanya who have like BSJCs like this that are like active what frame? Same frame data, like same like active frame 10, just like H-Kkohaku. But this hits Omega deep and it's active for 6 whole frames. Like ridiculous. You can't ever reliably low profile that, by the way. It hits catwalk and it hits pretty much any low profile tips, and because it's active for so long, you can't really like shield it early either, because he can like land from Narnia with it and it's still going to be active, because those 2 active frames end up mattering a whole lot. So like I can't, like the idea of like threatening people to like not jump with JB just doesn't work when you don't have an air to ground that is good at all. Like right now as H-Kkohaku in neutral, what I'm doing is like I am like trying to like I'm feinting a lot of like non-movement on the ground. Like I'm doing dash block, dash 5A, just walking a lot, because like I said earlier, Kawaku dash is so bad that like if I'm only covering short distances, it's better and more impactful for me to just walk around places, because at least I'm not like my dash barely low profiles me anyway. It's like one of the highest dashes in the game that's not a dash block. So it's like there's no real point in trying to like dash under air buttons. Yeah, so there's like no real point in trying to dash under air buttons really. But there is a point in being able to quickly like block any point if I sense that someone's doing anything. And then what I do is like in order to approach, I do like super jump JC. And if I think people are being a little too active, I do delay charge JC. I don't really use this often because I kind of feel like Kohaku is too like obvious with her movement. Like I try to use this more, but like it still gets counterpoked relatively easily, because a lot of characters have pretty strong air normals and it's like super slow. But like it's not bad. I think I'm just not using it right. I was trying to do shit like this to like, you know, brazenly cannonball myself in, but you kind of just run into the issue that 1, it's not active enough, and 2, it doesn't hit deep enough. So a lot of characters will just see it and just hold. They'll just crouch like really early, because you can't threaten them jumping anywhere near fast enough. And like maybe you could like argue that in this situation I could like Molotov, but like it's like what, it's a whole second to happen. That's like so reactable. I already get enough Molotovs on like actually trying to do like dash button into like method. I don't think doing it in the air to like as like an actual jump and mix up is actually worth that much. I think Molotov in like corner lockdown is something that I did want to actually try. Like let's say after a 5C and I walk and I jump and I drift forward and then I Molotov. I feel like that might actually have a purpose in like and just like discouraging people from like dash blocking and shit. Like I want to try it more, and you might see it in a few of the future replays that I do. But like I don't like maybe you could do it to like mix up my jumping options and to like make it less obvious what I'm doing. But like I don't, it's so slow and it's like very committal. I sort of just don't like it. I talked about the things that I was trying. I talked about one of the new things I am going to try. Another thing that I wanted to try and implement into my play was this. I kind of never used this because I'm of the opinion that it's kind of dog water. Like it's 60 frames total duration. I don't know why Kamone gave this character like 12 buttons and specials that are all like 60 frames total duration and do jack shit. but like whatever. It's invul, however, for most of it. Like it has 9 startup frames or something before it gets full invul. No, it's only invul for 4 frames. That's the white. Yeah, it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Invul for 6 frames, but you keep your air dash and you keep your double jump. So the idea was that like I would fade with neutral jump, like neutral jump dip back, and like the idea is the what's a dummy to do something like he's waiting for me to neutral jump, he's going to JC or overextend like this. Yeah, he's gonna overextend like that, and like he'd like overextend trying to get me. Like I could cross him up. And I could like I'd do something like this. You can TK this, but I'm not really good at TKing it. Like I did it once, and I'm not used to TKing it. You can TK it to do it like really low to the ground. But the idea is like to like cross them up in the air and then like be annoying. Like maybe if I like you can see I'm already having issues with it in like trading mode. But like this would be like I just want like ways to like threaten in the air and like not get like pwned by characters with hyperactive normals that are just pwning my JB startup. And this was like one of the like like the B version goes too far and it's too long. Like it's useful for like maybe performing this maneuver like from farther away. Like I could see it as like a nice like approach to it because it covers a lot of ground relatively fast. And it's invul for like a good duration. And again, it has no collision, so it's easy to cross up and force people to like have to burn their double jump in order to face the direct right? But like I just want to try more trying to use it to like beat jumps and force people to be in a more uncomfortable position in the like maybe I'll record a version of this that's like not scuffed and upload it and like just talk over it. But like yeah, that's just sort of like the 2 ideas that I've been having in regards to Molotov and 236B because I'm trying to use more of my kit. Like that's kind of the reason I was using this so much, to use more of my kit, and it's like 236B didn't work. And I'm now back in a situation where I don't have anything to like stop people from jumping at me because like outside of like Rising JB, which is like kind of a commitment. Like it's like the thing is like JG was always like just do it on reaction, but I've been finding out that like I can't do it on reaction because if you do it on reaction, you end up like rising your green into like the button you're trying to not lose to. Like if I press here, yeah, like that. Like what ends up happening is I end up extending my green all this, and this is like relatively high already. Most air to grounds, if they press it early or they're pressing it like just generally, will already be active by the point they're like this low, and they're just gonna clip the green before this amazing red comes out. So then you have the okay, just hover and threaten it on the way down, but like no one with a brain is pressing like that versus a Hkohaku that's already in the air unless they're like trying to stop this. Like unless you're like actively trying to stuff like Omega Delay Backdash JB, like you're not really going to like press like a dumbass over there. Like maybe I don't do like jump 9 J9 drift into that air backdash JB because maybe I need more like micro changes, not micro changes, maybe just more adjustments with how I space JB. But like right now I've been having a little bit more success with like instead of using JB for air to airing, I've been using JC. JC is not exactly great, but at least when I get people to block it, I can cancel it into JB like consistently, and I can do it on reaction. Like if I get a counter hit, I can just not press anything and get a full combo. But if I get a hit air block, I can like react and stagger into like JB. And because JB hits much more higher up than JC, it's like it's way more consistent than rising with JB and trying to get JC to hit after. Like maybe like the issue is I'm not like varying up my air dash timings, and I don't air dash back enough for neutral or something like that. Or maybe I should be doing like more jump back JCs. I don't like this technique though, because like Kohaku's not great at like gaining ground to begin with, and most people are like already wary of already wary of this. So like doing stuff like this doesn't like feel like it covers anything, because like people aren't that like people are scared at like this range when 2C can randomly clip them, but once we get like closer, like once we're this close, like they're not really scared, because 5B is not like consistently like stuffing out any jumps. Like yeah, there's 5B, but like this just does not hit air people unless they're like just beginning to jump. I'm just having a lot of issues with H-Kkohaku right now in neutral, so I've been trying to workshop ways to like get myself to be able to play neutral, and they've just not been working. So I've been like hitting the lab and just trying to brainstorm shit. Like maybe like I don't need to do that, and maybe it's like I'm not applying the basics well, but you know, it's just I don't know, man. It's a really disappointing when I try to play and I lose neutral really hard, and then I get pwned because my opponents are good at neutral and they're playing characters with okay neutral, usually at worst, and then they do their strong block string offense compared to my character, who is like I really don't like H-Kkohaku's pressure, man. I think it's kind of ass. Like I feel like more Len, Miyakyo, Coma, like all the mid tiers with combo throws get more off of their throw and get the throw more often than I do. I don't know why, because people say I'm not bad at blocking offense, but I don't know. I barely get hits that matter. I feel like I barely get to do command throws like often. Like I don't ever like get tick throws really. I just get mashed out of all of them. Like maybe I'm too obvious. I don't know, because people say I'm not bad, but like it feels like I'm bad. Like maybe I should like write it down on a piece of paper how many times I go for a kick throw and how many times it works and how many times I get bashed. But like the thing is, my character, like, oh my, like I don't know why. Like I guess it's like I just don't have normals really. I don't have specials either. So like I'm just block string. I'm just using normals, and like I have a command grab, but like every other character has like actual specials to reset with. So they are able to run pressure that's a lot better and less obvious. I don't know. Man, this is kind of depressing to be doing for so long. I guess those are just like the plans for to recap. I'm going to retire 236B in neutral. If you do see me use it, I'm probably going to be using 236B charge to like clear this area specifically, and like as a hard call out. And you're probably not even going to see that often. And if you do see uncharged 236B, it's probably going to be like from this distance underneath the timer to counter people who are like landing with buttons relatively carelessly at this spacing. You're probably never going to see me press it in neutral like here, because it doesn't work. Okay. And you're probably going to see me doing a lot more walking around into bomb just randomly instead of doing like this. Like I think this is like actually strong, especially on 2B or 5B. Like I might start doing that a lot more, because like you're out of range for like a lot of like random 2As, and even if they do like the random 2A, what ends up happening is like I don't have anything that true box to me to 5B to like see if they try to do like the basic 2A mash, they get they're not in range. And even off of B buttons. Wow, you actually don't have enough frame advantage too. Maybe I could have sworn you had enough frame advantage off of B buttons. Maybe it's if it's 2 frames delay. Yeah, 2 frames. 2 or 1 frame. Let's see if it's 1 frame. Because like people aren't gonna match frame 0 immediately after. Yeah, even if they're a frame off, you get the ball out. So I might start doing shit like 2B1 into 22A, or like 2B2 into 22A, or 2B, or start doing it off of the A to like reset, like, because like maybe not versus Nadia because this 2A is like humongous. 2A is also like frame 5, yeah. Okay, it's not frame 6. Okay, so I might start doing like 2 A's and like pressure to reset, because that's honestly the only thing I can think of as a special to like make my pressure a little less more obvious and linear. I talked about using, oh, I didn't say this, I didn't recap on 236A. I'm going to try using it a little bit more on neutral. I'm going to learn how to TK it off screen. I could do it like low to the ground. It might have use being TK'd. I don't know how to do it though. Yeah, I think you might be able to find a use for it TK'd. So I'm gonna try to start using it in order to force people to turn around and waste a double jump in order to face me properly in the air, and maybe I can like just orient their air game plans based on that. I talked about not using 236B in neutral due to my new 2-2 strategies. There is one thing I didn't mention that I should probably add to this like vlogging video where I'm talking about my character and thoughts. I've been talking about this combo for literally like 8 months at this point, and I've yet to land it in a real game because I never actually bothered, because I stopped playing multiplayer for Marvel Rivals for a bit. But there's the 2C optimal combos, like the mid-screen ones and the corner ones. I don't know if I actually want to like grind these out, because the thing is I'd have to grind these out versus players that are like way worse than me, and I find playing versus people like that like kind of boring. But I might just have to, because I barely get clean hits anymore, and being able to like convert into like heavy damage off of mid-range 2Cs into bomb Loki is like sort of important. Like doing like this off of 2C and pressure is strong, and like if I'm going to be like waffling around in this range and press 2C, I might as well always go for this, because the idea is like I'm not hitting them blocking, I'm trying to force them to you know, get hit, counter hit, either or neutral hit. They both work. So maybe I start fishing for that 2C combo and start doing cooler 2C hit confirms. Well, not really hit confirms, I have to do it super preemptively, but maybe I start doing more with the real 2C combos in neutral and in offense more. And that's it. If any of you have any ideas for shit I could be doing on my character, I am willing to hear you out, because I'm just mad and I'm tired of being bad. So if you got any idea, like even if your advice is like, if you notice that I'm not doing something basic correctly and you're being GG and you're like, yo, why did you X here? I will take advice. This is just me putting out my thoughts on what I'm going to be trying to do to change my playstyle over the next coming month or so. Also, maybe tomorrow I make a JB video. Maybe.